Hey guys, this is Heather from healthyveganrecipes.net. So today I wanted to show you a green smoothie recipe because a lot of you have been asking for them. And I wanted to show you one that does not involve any fruit, because I find most green smoothies are fruit-based ones, but it is possible to do them with no fruit. So what I shall show you is the basic ingredients that I'm going to put in here. You can, if you want, skip over to the recipe. It's over at healthyveganrecipes.net, but really most of this recipe is in the technique. So that's what I'm going to show you. First of all, you need some greens, and I've got some bagged mixed greens. I get these from a local place that does a really awesome job of growing microgreens all year round, so I'm very, very lucky to have them. In general, I think these pre-washed things of greens are just fine. Best to get organic when you can, but there's nothing wrong with them per se. Someone was asking me recently because they thought that they last for an unnaturally long time, but what it is when you wash the greens right when you pick them, they last for quite a long time. So I put them in first because what happens is this huge thing of greens is going to shrink right down, and then I can put the rest of the stuff in. I put the rest of the stuff in first and then try to mush the greens in. I don't get as many in. So that's how I do it. So I just shove as many as I can in here, and if you use a full blender, you could fit even more in here if you wanted to. Or what you can do is shove them in, blend them down, and then add more. So I'm just going to add some water here. Put the chopper on, and then blend it down. I need to shake it or stir it a few times as it goes because greens don't really want to blend. If you just give them a shake, they will get there. Okay, so see how my entire thing of greens has shrunk down to here? That's the benefit of green smoothies, is that you can eat a whole ton of greens a lot easier than you would if you had this in a salad, because it would take forever to chew that, but you can blend it up and eat it and you're good. Now I'm using the mini blender because this is going to be a smoothie just for me. It's all mine. But normally I would use a larger blender for smoothie because Phil and I like to have nice big smoothies. So what I'm going to put in here is some cucumber that I did rinse off before I started cutting it up. And with things like cucumber, they do stay a little bit chunky unless you have a high-speed blender like a Vitamix or a Blendtec, but I don't mind the little bit of crunch. If you don't want that though, you can use something smoother or maybe take the skin off or something. And then to make it really smooth, I'm going to add some avocado. Normally what I would use to make a green smoothie smooth is banana, but you can also use avocado. And like I said, this is only for me, so I'm only going to use half. And then save the avocado with the pit in it. Don't ask me why that works, but it does. It doesn't go brown as quickly. And then just pop that in the blender. All right, so it's looking beautiful and creamy right now, and it's really, really thick. So if I had room, I would probably add more water, actually. And then I've got some fresh oregano in here that I got from the garden. Fresh herbs are fantastic to use in smoothies. They add flavor, they add nutrients, and they're just really, really good. So try it out. You don't have to use oregano because that's pretty hard to find fresh unless you're growing it yourself. But fresh basil, fresh parsley, any type of fresh herb that you can find. Mint is awesome. And then I've got a little spoonful of spirulina. It's a green algae, so it doesn't taste very good, but it's really, really nutritious. And if you make your smoothie well, you won't notice the taste quite as much. And then I've got a scoop of hemp protein, which is optional. I just like to put in there sometimes to get a little bit of extra protein. And some lime juice. I just squeezed some fresh lime juice in here to give a little bit of flavor. I know it's a fruit, but it doesn't affect your blood sugar quite as much as some of the other sweeter fruits because it's more acidic and just less sweet. I'm sure you know if you bite into a lime, it doesn't really taste like a watermelon, right? Not quite the same level of sweetness. So give that one last blend, and then it's ready for the taste test. All right, here we go, guys. Taste test time. Really refreshing, really tasty. Spirulina flavor does not come through at all. And I am one of the most algae phobic people around. So if you are scared of spirulina, not to worry. This is really good. Another thing you can do with this is if you make it a little bit thinner, I'll often serve this basic idea as a soup with maybe some nuts sprinkled on top or something like that. Really, really tasty and refreshing, so give it a try. If you want to, you can add some fruit to it. You can swap the avocado for a banana, and that'll give it the same creamy texture. You could add a pear in here. That would be really, really nice if you get a pear that's nice and soft, so it blends up really well. And some other ideas for greens. Phil and I usually use sprouts, and this container of sprouts is almost ready to explode. It wants to be eaten. So you can use that instead of lettuce, or you can use spinach or chard. But if you use some of those more hardy greens like kale, chard, and whatnot, they don't blend up as smoothly. So you either want to be prepared to have some little chunks that you're going to chew on, or if you do that, you might want to look into a more high-powered blender. Okay, that's it. That's all there is to green smoothies, and that was a vegetable-based one. But again, you can add fruit to it if you like. That's normally what I do. I am definitely a fruit person. All right, guys, that's it. I'll post the recipe over at healthyveganrecipes.net. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.